Hello, gay boys. Here is another episode on how to destroy your bike, Skid Plate Edition. Today, I'm going to show you how to install an engine guard or skid plate on your ADV 160. This is also applicable on the PCX 160. First, why are skid plates important? Well, it's not that important unless you have deep pockets and a lot of spare time. Well, these are just the simple problems that you might encounter along the way. Not that of a hassle, right? Now you know the potential danger of not installing a skid plate. Let us now get back to the tutorial. So first, you have to remove the exhaust so that you can pull out the crankcase bolt. The exhaust has three 14mm bolts, which is found here, and two 10mm stud bolt that is located under here. After removing the exhaust, there is no need to remove the O2 sensor, unlike your GF that removed you from her life, since you just have to give way for the crankcase bolt. Next, you have to remove these two crankcase bolts and set it aside. You'll need it later after removing the two bolts on the CVT side. On the CVT side, you need to remove these two bolts. Your skid plate will be placed like this. After removing the bolts, you can now fit your skid plate. Just wiggle it around until it fits. Unlike you that don't fit in her life. Do not tighten the bolts, then proceed on installing the other side. Moving on to the other side of the bike. First, remove the two bolts, then wiggle the skid plate until it fits on the engine. It's a snug fit, so it may be difficult to install on the engine. Just work around it, and it will definitely fit. After you install the plate, you need first to insert the bolt in the front. This will give you the leverage to wiggle the rear for the bolt to get inserted. Here, I use a standard or negative screwdriver to pry the plate until the bolt fits into the engine. After that, you can now torque the two crankcase bolts. Here are the torque values, just so you have a reference. Next, install the exhaust. Tighten first the three 14mm exhaust bolts, then the two 10mm stud bolts. Here are the torque values for your reference. And lastly, you can now tighten the transmission cover bolts to finish the installation of your engine skid plate. Now, here's what it looks like when you finally finish installing your engine skid plate. Let's do a little montage. This kind of skid plate has no weld, laser cut, and minimal clearance on the engine side. So you don't have to worry on the skid plate touching the ground when you encounter uneven surfaces. So please choose your brand of skid plate wisely.